Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am still pregnant. It is officially one day past my due date today. My due date was yesterday, April 23rd. One thing I have learned with pregnancy is that you cannot plan anything. And also, unless you know the exact day that you got pregnant, your due date can kind of fluctuate. So in reality, looking at when the baby's due is like end of April, early May, that makes a lot more sense. I figured I would sit down and give you guys a little update with what's going on in my pregnancy, what our plan is, and some answers to questions a lot of you guys are asking me on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, totally feel free to do that. I'm going to be updating there a ton when I go into labor because obviously I'm not going to be filming and editing and uploading onto YouTube when I'm in labor, or probably not for a little bit right after. So if you guys want to know when all of that happens, Instagram is the best place to find that. First things first, am I tired of being pregnant? I am actually not tired of being pregnant. I know it's very strange. It's kind of an unpopular way to think. It's not something I ever really thought of until recently. Every single time I go to an OB's office or I talk to someone who's a mom or a nurse, the first thing they say to me is, "Oh my God, how annoyed are you of being pregnant? Aren't you so ready for this baby?" And right away I'm just like, I mean, yeah, I'm excited for the baby, but I'm not tired of being pregnant. I have loved this pregnancy. Like, I have never felt more amazing in my entire life. I also say that fully aware that I'm so lucky to have had such an easy pregnancy because I know how hard it is for so many women. Like, trust me, I have friends that have been pregnant and have had a really hard time. I've read a lot of your stories, but the one thing that always is like the common outcome is how it's all worth it in the end. So even if you have kind of a hard pregnancy, you get a baby in the end, and it's the most magical, beautiful thing ever. So it's all worth it. And so that's like the main thing that I like to focus on, is that no matter what you go through, the outcome is gonna be incredible. So I am very excited to meet this baby. Trust me, I'm so excited, but I'm also gonna miss being pregnant. Like, I love feeling him move and wiggle inside of me and having this special little bond that just him and I share. Although it's gonna be nice to actually hold him in my arms and see his face and all that, it's definitely different. But one thing I'm very excited for is for Dan to experience this. Although, I mean, he's been involved heavily from the start with my pregnancy, but he's not physically pregnant. So even though he can feel him kick, it's not the same. So to actually have Dan be able to hold him, I'm just like gonna bawl my eyes out. I'm so excited for that moment to see him actually hold his son for the first time. I'm just so filled with emotion. What are we doing when it comes to the birth plan right now? So if you guys are following me on Instagram, and if you've been following me for the past 3 weeks, you know there was a little bit of drama that was going on in Montreal when it came to the hospital we were delivering at. Due to the pandemic going on right now, our hospital had made a rule that there was no partners allowed at all during like labor, delivery, or postpartum. And if you guys are not aware, I'm sure a lot of you are, I've been told from the beginning there is a possibility that I might need a cesarean, just based off of a lot of factors throughout my pregnancy, the way my uterus is, and it's a lot. You can watch my other videos to hear more about that. So just knowing that I was gonna have a cesarean and not have anyone in postpartum, plus having the hospital be a little bit overrun due to the virus, was really stressful, and I was scared. And it was like 3 weeks before my due date, and I didn't know what to feel. I was kind of freaking out, but luckily we were able to transfer, which was so nice. Although I miss my OB because she is an angel. Like, I just love her so much. She was so nice though and understanding. Like, I just love her. She gave us our files. We're able to transfer. The new OB we're with is also super sweet and super nice. It's just new, right? Like, I've seen her twice. But in the end, as long as there's a healthy baby, it doesn't really matter, right? So now Dan is gonna be allowed to accompany me. He's just not allowed to leave the room. So once I'm admitted and I'm in active labor, then Dan can come into the room. So I actually have to go into the hospital by myself when I'm in labor. If they tell me it's okay to come in, they're gonna check me in triage, see if it's actually time, and then if they do admit me, Dan can come up, but he has to bring all the stuff with him and I can't bring anything. So he has like our suitcase, backpack, car seat. He has to bring the car seat as well because they won't let him like leave and come back with the car seat once the baby's born. There's reasons for these rules 100%, and I understand them completely. It's an adjustment, us trying to figure out how to do all of these things during this time, because we don't don't really have anyone else to talk to because this is so new, right? Like when I talk to my friends or family members that have gone through births, they all were able to come and go. They were able to have multiple people in the room, family in the waiting room, food afterwards. For us, Daniel's not even given food at the hospital, so we have to bring food for him. And yeah, there's just a lot. And if I do end up having a cesarean, he unfortunately will not be allowed to be in the operating room, but he's allowed in postpartum, which is, for me, the most important thing. Having help with the baby after a major surgery is key, and to just have that mental support, I'm all for it. And another positive, small positive, is that our old hospital actually just reversed their rule. They looked into it a lot more. They realized that probably wasn't like the best thing that they did that, so they reversed it. The only thing is the partner is still not allowed in postpartum, so at least they're allowed there for delivery. For all the women who were not able to switch, at least they have their partner there during like the most magical time, so that's really happy and exciting. And we're not going back to the hospital just because it was such a hassle to switch, and like I'm literally due any day now, so there's no point. My old OB did call me and she was so excited to like tell us the news and ask how we were, and she said she missed us, and it was just so sweet, and she's so nice. I did mention on my story that the OB that I'm with right now, and basically like my old OB said the same thing, is that they don't want me to go past 41 weeks just because there are complications. And at first I was speaking to my doula, who we still do have a doula, and she's going to be there for the whole birth experience over FaceTime. She's been very much involved with this whole pregnancy and has been a huge help and like lifesaver in so many different ways. Highly recommend doulas, you guys. They're great. They kind of help you think outside the box. They make you see like every little detail. They teach you so much, especially for a first-time mom. I think it's really beneficial because I have no idea what I'm doing. She had advised us that no matter what decision we make, it's our decision, and she will support us 100%. But she also wanted to give us like every little detail so that we could think about it. And she said it's the same thing in the hospital. She told us our rights as patients, as people, what we have the right to refuse or to say or to, you know, all that kind of stuff, which was actually really helpful because when I go to a hospital, like I've never been to a hospital before, so if someone's gonna tell me something, I'm just gonna be like, okay. But knowing my rights now, I can be like, okay, let me think about this for a second and then decide. Unless it's an emergency, of course. If it's an emergency, then like you listen to the doctors. It was just really good to kind of be informed about everything. And she had also said that you could go past 41 weeks. It's definitely something that is in your rights. It's not mandatory to give birth at 41 weeks. Like you do not have to get induced if you don't want to. You can go past it. They don't recommend past 42 because then it kind of gets like a bit too dangerous and the baby is just going to be really big and it's more likely you might need a cesarean. These are just things that she told us, but from the start I was like, you know what, I've been told I might need a cesarean, so I just feel like as much as I would love to go into labor naturally, like I have been trying every at-home labor induction that our doula has told us. We have been trying everything, as well as just keeping relaxed and zen, because I feel like that's the most important thing, is just to be relaxed and not stress about it. And I'm in no rush, but we do have an induction scheduled for next week. I can always cancel it if I want, if I decide to, but in all honesty right now, the way I'm leaning is that if I don't go into labor naturally, I'm gonna see my OB the morning of. We're gonna discuss it, and then if there's room in the hospital, I will go and get induced. And then depending on how the induction works on my body, we will see. It did not work on my mom for me. My mom was induced at 40 weeks with me. It did not work. They induced her again at 41 weeks. And it kind of started to work, but then she needed a cesarean in the end. And then she had my sister vaginally, which she said she's had both, and she never felt like she was less of a mom with either way. And I think that is just such a beautiful thing, because you brought this life into the world. It doesn't matter how it came out. You created it, and it's there, and it's yours, and it's just, I just love it. So I'm very much open to whatever. I said from the start of my pregnancy, I've been informed that because of the way my body is and because I had a bicornuate uterus and all these things, that I could have whatever. So I'm kind of open. Now the big question is, will there be a birth vlog? So this all depends on if I need a cesarean or not, because if I have a cesarean, obviously Daniel can't be there, and I'm not going to be on the operating table like vlogging. What I did ask Dan is if we are able to FaceTime, like if that's allowed, if he could screen record his phone so that we could always insert that clip. But if it's a vaginal birth, we're gonna vlog. We're gonna vlog the whole process. So there will definitely be a birth vlog. It's just a matter of what is gonna be shown or not. And then depending on how much footage we get, because in reality, I'm gonna be like in pain having contractions, I'm not going to be thinking about filming. That's Daniel's job. I'm going to be focusing on breathing and getting this baby out of me. So if we do have like weird footage, we might just like have a sit down video where we explain the whole process as well as include the clips. So there's going to be definitely a video for that for you guys, as well as a name reveal. We have not revealed the name yet. I don't know if I'm going to do that on Instagram or if I'm going to do it on YouTube. I feel like probably Instagram, because YouTube might take us a little bit of time to like edit and upload, just because we're going to want to spend, you know, the first little bit with just the baby and not focus on editing a video. But I'm sure most of you guys understand that. Oh my gosh, I just can't believe it's like so close. It's so weird. I figured I'd be nervous by this point, but I'm not. I'm just like so happy and excited, and I'm not uncomfortable. Like I have, my feet are swollen, my belly's so big, so like every time I move, it's like I can't get 100% comfortable, but I think he's just doing something to my brain. It's just making me feel so happy all the time that doesn't even matter. And I'm also so excited for Boo to meet him, our dog or golden retriever. That's gonna be so fun. There have been questions about who's watching Boo when we're gonna go deliver. So when we first got the news 3 weeks ago that Dan was like not gonna be allowed in at all with me during the like whole process, and we were kind of panicking about it, we asked my mom if she could literally self-isolate herself for like 2.5 weeks, not leave the house, not to go to any grocery stores, not even like communicate with other people, just so that we could be sure that she was okay. And then she would move in with us the week before my due date, be here for like that process, and then be with Daniel when I was at the hospital so he wouldn't be alone. But then because Daniel's allowed with me, now it's more like she's here to watch Boo, because we don't know how long we're going to be in the hospital for. I know they're discharging women really, really quickly now, like within 24 hours. But if I have a cesarean, it might go longer, so we definitely need somebody to watch Boo. So she's going to be here for that, as well as a little bit afterwards with the baby. So that has been such a lifesaver, because having that support person there, Dan and I are going to be exhausted. I feel like lots of people do this on their own. I get it. But like just having that extra person who can even just help clean or cook or something is just going to be a lifesaver. So I'm very grateful for that. She has been here already for like more than a week now. Then the rest of my family will unfortunately not be able to meet the baby until the social distancing rules have kind of lifted a little bit. What we are planning on doing is lots of FaceTime. They're going to come over and like stand in our driveway or in like the front yard, like near the curb, and we'll stand on the porch and like hold up the baby like Simba and the Lion King and be like, here you go, look, this is the baby. And then eventually when things calm down, we'll be able to kind of slowly introduce him to the rest of the family. We also just want to make sure everyone is safe. Like that's the main thing. So I'm not too worried about it. It's like, it's bittersweet because we have some time alone with the baby, you know, spending that time just Dan and I with a little bit of help. And then afterwards, when we're ready to see family, it's gonna be great. And then it's gonna be summer and the weather's gonna be nice. And I'm just all in all in really good spirits and happy and excited. And I cannot wait for this baby to be here. My life is, well, our lives are about to change forever. And if you guys want to know anything else about like our plans for the baby, for the future, for this channel, like all that kind of stuff, I have a pregnancy playlist down below, and there are Q&As in that playlist where we talk about it during mukbangs and during like pregnancy updates. I talk about all that kind of stuff. So if you're curious, I'll have that listed down below. Other than that, I hope you guys are having a great day. I don't know what video is gonna come next. I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna be my birth vlog, because within a week there's gonna be baby here, whether it comes naturally or if I'm induced or what. So I love you guys so much. Wish me luck, and I will see you guys all next time as a family of 4, because we include the puppy. Bye guys.